All ashore, pipe friends. Mark the Pipe Poet here, and today I have a very special video for old khakis. What you actually heard was the original foghorn to the RMS Titanic. They salvaged it from the ocean. From what I understand, they hooked it up to a steamer, and they tested it just to see if it worked. And it did. So you actually heard a piece of history right there. The voice of the Titanic. The song playing was from the White Star Line band, The Wedding Dance. I have my wisteria teacup and saucer. I meant to get the teapot. But when I went to order it, I received a notification that something was funky about the credit card, so I didn't. Someone else was trying to use the credit card while I was trying to use it, and quickly called and got that managed, so don't think I'll be getting the teapot anytime soon, unfortunately. I have the series, the limited edition series, from the Bradford Exchange, Titanic, Queen of the Ocean. This is the 4th issue of that series. It is called Smoking Room. Oh, there it is. This one's my favorite. Gentlemen playing cards, brandy, cigar lit. A very beautiful piece. I like how they made the edge, the rim, look like it is a placement plate from the first class dining room. So I have that series. But what makes this video so extraordinary? Well, I'll tell you. Old khakis, I know how much you like the Titanic. Probably more of a collector than I am. But to begin my story, I've always been fascinated with the Titanic. From a very young age. And we're not talking 11, 10. No, this was more like 5, 6. That's how young. And really, I don't know how I got into it. Yes, the movie came out. Yes, it was a very famous movie. If you like the movie, if you don't. I enjoy the movie. I cannot speak today. I enjoy the movie because of the attention to detail that it had when recreating the famous ship, and the amount of time and energy that went into crafting all these things and making the chairs and making sure that the china looked like the china that was used and the silverware was similar to the silverware that was used, and the light fixtures and the cabins and the period dress. It was all very meticulously cared for. And but I even remember, before even seeing the movie, I would go to the library in my school and read books on the Titanic, and I would buy books on the Titanic, and it was something that captured my imagination. How a ship full of immigrants, but full of splendor and grandeur, how it tragically sank in the middle of the ocean at 2:20 a.m. And I have a book right here from the book club that I'm a part of. It's by Beryl Bainbridge, Every Man for Himself, and that takes place on the Titanic. Now, I've read that. It's a good book. But last night, I was looking through some of my grandfather's things that he left for me to have. And amid these things, a piece of history came unfolding from a very, very forgotten place. Showing you the back, just to authenticate it. Yes, that is a smudge mark right here. Are you ready? It is a white Star Line postcard of the Titanic's sister ship, the RMS Olympic. Now, for those of you that don't know of the history between the Olympic and the Titanic, the RMS Olympic was constructed by the same company, and if I'm correct, had the same builders, same architect, Thomas Andrews. It's even captained under Captain Edward J. Smith. The Olympic was the blueprint for the Titanic. However, the Titanic would be on a much larger and grander scale than her sister ship. There were slight variations between the RMS Olympic and the RMS Titanic, but they had very similar features, as you can tell from the postcard. Similar grand staircase, similar dining and reception areas. However, the Titanic had the palm court, the veranda, the a la carte restaurant. It had, I think, I know the bulkheads were different. I know that there was a 1-inch thick amount of steel around both of them, but I think Titanic's was 1.5 inches thicker. First, second, third, and these were luxury liners that are meant to transport people across the ocean, but in luxury that has never been seen before or since. There were 3 sister ships, the Olympic, the Titanic, and the Britannic. The Titanic sank, as we all know. The Britannic hit a German mine off of the coast of Greece and sank while it was in wartime service. But what happened to the RMS Olympic? Well, research from yours truly, I was able to find out that the RMS Olympic, after the Titanic sank, stayed in service as a luxury liner for a short while, and then when the call of her country was needed, she went in and became a victims passenger ship, which means they would haul victims that have been hurt and nurse them back to health. So basically a hospital ship. She also did some espionage work in her time, and later in her life she went to be scrapped, unfortunately. But a lot of the fixtures from the RMS Olympic, which are very similar to the RMS Titanic, as I have already stated, can be found in restaurants and in hotels, and I think even one gentleman has a shed. Yes, a shed, of all places. Now, hear me out. A shed that has the original paneling, an original glass case, a column, an original chair that was sat in by the captain himself, china, a menu, silverware. All that's tucked away in a shed that he privately owns. And I found the article. Unfortunately, I don't remember where I found the article on, but I'm sure you can find it someplace out there. Pieces of the original Olympics still pop up. And I can only assume that this has to be one of them. I feel like I'm holding a piece of history I'm not supposed to be touching. But it feels very surreal. Which only leads me to wonder, was my family on this ship? Or was my family on this ship? I'll never know. So there you are, old khakis. Piece of Titanic. Well, yes, I'd consider it so. A piece of Titanic history from yours truly. I know what some of you are thinking. This cup looks dainty in my hand. Don't judge. I think it looks sophisticated. Well, everyone, smoke and be happy and enjoy yourselves, because that is what life is all about, and I hope you enjoyed this story from the French Sauté. I think I might make that a series. Mark the Pipe Poet and Stories from the French Sauté. We'll see if it sticks. Smoke and be happy and enjoy yourselves, because that is what life is all about.